Too much protein can actually make you fat. Now you probably ask yourself, but how? Everyone is recommending to eat more protein to lose fat or weight. So in today's video, I will explain 5 negative side effects of consuming too much protein and how excess protein consumption will harm your gut, hormones, and ultimately your fat loss or weight loss, because that's all linked. As a hormone nutritionist, I always look at the fat loss as a side effect of simply becoming healthier, not only as a calorie in and out. High protein intake itself will not help you directly burn more calories or lose fat, especially if you don't exercise much and you don't build muscles, because it's the muscle mass that increases your metabolism the most. Protein is also one of those hardest compounds to digest, and your body needs more energy to process it. So eating protein will increase your metabolism naturally. Increased metabolism is mostly because your body simply needs more energy to digest that protein. But it doesn't necessarily mean you will burn more fat just by eating more protein. And I know that within fitness industry, it's quite often recommended to consume even up to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. In other words, aiming on average for 120-150 grams of protein per day. For women, this is way too much, unless you're an athlete or very tall or severely overweight. So I'm not saying avoid the protein, but just have enough of it, not too much. But as a rule of thumb, I would say don't go more than 100 grams of protein per day as a woman. Here is important thing you should keep in mind. If you only increase protein intake without changing your carbs or fats intake, the excess protein will be converted to fat. Your body doesn't have the ability to store protein, so the excess protein is either excreted if you're in a calorie deficit or converted to fat if you're in caloric surplus. Our body can store glucose and fat, but not protein, unfortunately. And that brings me to a very important point if it comes to the negative effects of too much protein. So the first one is digestion and gut inflammation. Breaking down a lot of protein is a tough work for your system. When your body breaks down protein, ammonia is produced. It's a toxic byproduct of protein digestion. Then your liver needs to convert that ammonia to a non-toxic compound so it can be excreted safely with your kidneys. Nowadays, our liver is already overloaded with processing all the toxins from environment and pesticides from food. So adding that extra work where there is potentially little benefit is not such a good idea, I would say. Because liver, apart from being the master detoxifier, is also the master organ if it comes to thyroid and hormonal balance. And that has impact on your metabolism. So when your liver becomes overworked, it may not be efficient with producing enough of thyroid hormones. 3T3 is the key thyroid hormones that keep your metabolism fast and everything moving in your system. So as you see, metabolism is not only about eating more protein, but there are also hormones involved that play a big role in your metabolism. I would say even bigger than the protein itself. Then another undesirable effect is excess ammonia and fatigue. If your body struggles with removing excess ammonia, which is the byproduct of protein digestion, it can negatively impact your energy production cycle. That means more risk of low energy and fatigue, which is of course not helpful when you're trying to lose fat and also exercise on the top of that. Moreover, if your body cannot digest protein well, either because you ate too much or you're not producing digestive enzymes, it will stay in your gut longer than it should. And here is the problem. Undigested protein will create more toxin and gradually damage your gut lining, leading to leaky gut and potentially more inflammation. More inflammation equals more fat accumulation, unfortunately. So again, you see that fat loss and weight loss is not only about calorie in or out, but also the state of your body, the inflammation, gut health, hormones, and few other things. Anyway, in addition, when your gut is inflamed or your gut microbiome imbalanced, it will be harder to lose weight or fat, and it will also affect your metabolism. Also, a bit less known effect of too much protein or high protein diet is immune response. The downside of it is that overactive system means you're at increased risk of inflammatory bowel disease, food intolerances, or other autoimmune conditions like Crohn's or Hashimoto's. So I'm not saying avoid the protein, but just have enough of it, not too much. And I'm sharing this because I fell victim of the keto, high protein weight loss diets or intermittent fasting trends, which ultimately left me with more health issues over time. The moment I ditch all the diets and focus on becoming healthier, balancing my hormones and improving my gut, I finally lost the stubborn belly fat by simply being in a slight calorie deficit, not the 1200 calories diet I followed before, reducing my sugar intake, eating nutrient-dense foods and the nutrients I was lacking, and managing stress. And of course, just eating the normal amount of protein. And it's hard to believe, but trust me, it works.